Hey there, Earth Angels. Elvia Rowe, founder of AngelsTeach.com, back again with another video messages from the angels. And this one is for the month of November 2020. And what a month it's turning out to be. Not really that it's a surprise. I think most of us have felt it, and it's here. So what better time to dig into our angelic guidance and to really connect with the divine that's within? You know, it's always, in my view of the world, it's always the right thing to do, but especially now, you know, we all need that divine connection and beingness. So I'm doing things a little bit differently because I always love to mix things up. And so I am going to be doing a reading from these catalogs. They were sitting on my table and I've been waiting for inspiration for this month, and I was like, okay, because I do this all the time on my own. I'm like, I need to share this with you guys. So once again, choose number 1, 2, or 3. And this is going to be more of a live action reading because I don't know which pages are going to come forward yet, but we will find out. So again, number 1, number 2, or number 3. So the first reading, I've been guided to the Shelburne Farms catalog. This is a lovely, beautiful place in Vermont, and they actually have this barn that burned down a couple of years ago. It was pretty tragic. I don't think that's part of the message, but just sharing that because it's just a beautiful place, and I think they, I don't know if they're rebuilding it, but anyway, if you're in Vermont, gorgeous place. So let's see. So the tape restuck, so this is a bit of a sticky message, already feeling that that's part of it. Okay, on the left side of the page. Okay, so this is a woman, I'll show you the picture in just a second. This is a woman who is making cheese. I had to look at it a little bit to see what she was actually doing, because I wasn't sure if she was playing with those styrofoam packing materials, peanuts, but she's actually making cheese, which doesn't really have anything to do with the message I'm hearing. It's really about the smile on her face. Like, she is so one with what she's doing. She's really into it. And I think this is about presence. Hearing that very much so. This is about keeping it in the present moment and focusing on what you're doing with gratitude. You know, everything that's in your life and around you, especially now. You know, the message that came forward in the EFT weekly EFT thing this week was about feeding, you know, the myth of the two wolves. There's the one that's has darker qualities, and then there's the one has compassion and kindness and love as the defining qualities. And the one that's fed the most is the one that is present and the one that's really leading the way. And so this is a message about being present and making sure that you are. I'm going to go back to that image again, if I can find it, because now I don't. There we go. And just being the presence in the moment and connecting with the love of whatever it is that you're doing, you know. And if you're doing something that you really don't love, find a way to flip it and be in that space of gratitude. And that's really a task I think all of us can benefit from, is finding a way to flip the perspective when we're doing things that we don't love, to be in that space of grace, really. For those of you who chose number 2, the White Flower Farm catalog. And it's interesting, I know of White Flower Farm because of my grandmother, who used to go there way back when. They started in 1950, but I know that she was she shopped there. And there's already feeling like there may be this ancestral link to the message that's going to come through for us through this catalog. And once again, I don't know which one, which page or what the message is going to be, but feeling like there's this ancestral connection here. And I'm doing this quote live action because I want you guys to realize that this is something you can do yourselves. You know, whether it's a book, a catalog, magazine, anything, you know, just take a breath, set your intention, and open it up to the page that's there for you. This one's taking a long time to come through. There, here, yes. And I'm feeling it in my body. You know, I'm always going to be teaching because that's just who I am. But, you know, notice how you're feeling in the body and you'll feel that yes, and you know that you're there. And there's just an explosion of red here with these amaryllis flowers, these plants. See that? So what specifically is the message here? It's about blooming. I know there's that. It's about being who you are. Very, very lovely. So one of these is called Très Chic, which is very chic, very, you know, stylish. And some of the other ones are Stargazer and Double King and Pierrot and Magnum, and it doesn't really matter the names. What I'm hearing very loud and clear is that while these all have a similar look and feel, you know, so we are all humans wearing human skin, but we all have that spark that makes us unique, that essence that is purely you. You know, nobody else can take that away from you. Nobody can duplicate that because you are you, and there is nothing that can change that. And in fact, it's something to be celebrated. And that's the message here, because these are blooming so boldly, so magnificently. And so if you chose number 2, and this is the message coming through for you, this is your invitation to maybe take stock of what it is that uniquely defines you. You know, if you were to write out who you are, you know, in your journal, what is that? What is the essence? How would you describe you and the core of who you are? How this ties to the ancestral link is recognizing that, you know, these amaryllis, I'm using my pendulum here. I often use it when I'm doing readings just to make sure that I'm getting the complete message. How it ties to the ancestral is that these plants came from somewhere. You know, they didn't just spontaneously erupt or grow or blossom. You know, they came from somewhere. So the essence of who you are, you know, trace back and look at perhaps where it originated, you know, and maybe my mother certainly had a flair for just being very, I want to say indigo. So some of you are going to know what I mean by that. Some of you probably aren't. She had a way of being defiant. And I celebrate that in me, recognizing that she gave that to me, that came through her. And, you know, honestly, I didn't know my grandmother well enough to know if that came, you know, through her. But wherever the origin, I know that's was something that I took and then I made it mine. So a little bit of a rambling message here with number 2, but I feel like that is complete. Just make sure that you're recognizing how brilliant you are, how magnificent you are, and celebrate that. So our last catalog for this month, our reading, the old standby, L.L. Bean. You gotta love them. Especially if you live in the colder climates, they really have a lot that can help with navigating that. Okay. Oh, puppy dog. So cute. All right, so I'm not immediately getting the message, which this happens sometimes. So I'm kind of glad that this has happened with you guys, because it's an invitation to understand that even if you don't get the message right away, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that you might have to listen a little bit more deeply. Okay, so it's actually not about the dog. It's about protection. Okay. So on the other side of the page is a doormat. And I'm hearing a little phrase that a friend of mine used to say quite a bit. Don't be a mat at the door, be a matador. And that's what this message is about. I kind of wish it was about the dog, because the dog is just so cute and we could get some kind of cuddly love out of that. And some of you are probably going to get that, so take it. But the core of the message for those of you who chose number 3 is don't be a mat at the door, be a matador. This is about protection, making sure that you are, I'm hearing wiping your feet, which feels a little bit too literal, but the angels are saying no. So how does that translate into an actual message for you? Well, when we come in from the outside, we have stuff on the bottom of our shoes sometimes, especially in the wintertime. And in order to keep the house clean, we have to dust off our feet. We have to stomp our feet, wipe them on the mat. And this is really about recognizing that you're bringing stuff in to your home, and your home could be your physical space, but more specifically is your body, your being, and you're bringing in stuff that is from the outside that isn't yours. So this is a message about wiping your feet, not literally, but letting go of that, those vibrations, those energies, those thoughts, those beliefs, the noise, and there's a lot of noise right now that doesn't belong to you, and leaving it outside the door. And I'm feeling this is actually a pretty fierce message, and it's probably a good message for the collective. So I wouldn't be surprised if, it comes in a little bit for everybody, is that make sure that you are taking care of your energy and managing it correctly. And by correctly, I mean like making it a priority to manage your energy and to protect yourself and to let go of what doesn't belong to you, and what does feel like it's with you and you can't just release, heal that. Take responsibility for healing that, and be gentle. Be gentle. Be so gentle. So thank you once again for joining me here with our video messages from the angels, and thank you to LL Bean and Shelburne Farms and White Flower Farm. And kind of cool, I'm realizing that farm is in 2 of the names of these catalogs. So I think that right there feels like it's a back to basics message for all of us. So we're getting a little bonus message here about bringing it back to what's basic, what's really connected to the earth, and feeding that side of ourselves. So with that, please, I'd love to hear your comments. Like this video as you feel inspired. Share it with your angel-loving friends. And if you haven't already, come on over to angelsteach.com and see what we've got going on over there. So much love to each and every one of you. Be well. Many blessings.